Why is this thing only going 37? Oi! Your slow speed was sold to me as 53. Why are you going this slow? Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Transport Fever 2 in the free mode with me, Spacefish. And welcome back to beautiful Space City. In the last episode, we actually got the connections going between Bedell and Evesham, getting us some public transport on the way, getting the first train going, and actually also getting some buses travelling through this still very small city. And we're kind of looking to pick off there today. We do, on the one hand side, still have this train station with its second unused connection to this state, which I'm looking to get that connected to Space City then. And, well, and then we do technically also have the line that I would really like to get going between Aquarium, Crawley, and Space City. So those would all be some things to take care of. On top of that, I do also kind of want to look at a bit of modernization. I think that's quite important. Last episode, I think we saw that a lot of vehicles actually were quite past their due date, in very, very bad conditions, which in the end does cause a lot of extra emissions. It does mean that we do incur a lot of extra maintenance costs, so we may as well go and spend some of that not also hard-earned money anymore on some more modern vehicles, save ourselves that maintenance cost, and maybe get some more capacity along the way. So that's the plan for today, but just quickly before we get started on all this, if you're new around here and if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below. That does mean the absolute world to me. We're very well on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and every single person just truly does help out a ton. So thanks so much if you did that. And with that out of the way, let us go. And first things first, I think, just start out on the connection between Evesham and Space City. Now, the interesting question here being where exactly we do want to connect it to. The thing is that, of course, we do also have some cities like North Hallerton and Havant and stuff out here, which, well, I feel we may eventually want to connect to Space City, especially, you know, when we do have some faster traveling trains going for ourselves. I'm not sure we would want to connect this all the way through, though. I mean, even if the train goes 300 kilometers an hour, this route right here is probably going to take an absolute age. And I mean, looking at the orientation of these three cities, which I think would be the ones that we would want to connect. I mean, maybe like Berkhamsted, but I'm not too sure about that one. So, I mean, like, how many train lines do we technically have left here? A lot. A lot more than I think we need, honestly. Wow. I mean, 6 train lines. What in the world could we have planned right here? I mean, sure. We do have the Aquarium, and we do have Crawley to connect. I'm still kind of debating, though, if we're even going to use this train station for that purpose, or if we're going to do a second, more remote one, like on the outskirts right here for this purpose. But okay, I mean, say we're going to go and use that to connect. Just go and loop all the way around like this. Then we've got Berkhamsted, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess, and then 6. Does that somewhat count? Still quite insane. Anyways, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take this train line right here. What I do really want to do, though, before we actually go and take care of that, is I want to fix something that triggers me utterly right here, which is the still very old train lines in the train station itself. I think that is something that needs to just quickly be rectified. So we're going to just go and rip all of these old train lines out and, well, what do I say? It's not really a fast process particularly, is it? I wish there was... Oh, wait, can you... Aha! Look at that. You can just leave the mouse clicked and very carefully move it along. Emphasis on very carefully, unless you want to accidentally pull the whole thing apart, just saying. I may have accidentally taken a roof off there. not something you usually want to hear, is it? But there we go. So that's all taken out, and then yeah, unfortunately, click dragging with this is not an option, but it does seem to be going a little faster. I am considering to also modernize the other 2 train lines that we've got down there, and you know, just I don't know, kind of take care of that while we're at it. I'm a little worried, I have to say, that we may end up deleting a line, or, well, maybe not deleting it, but messing it up in terms of the alignment. So, let us maybe before oopsies. Before we do that, let's just go and check out which line goes where. Okay, so purple is the lower one, and red is the upper one, and then purple's like all the way here, and red is like the 3rd railway in that station. Okay, so let's go do that, and we'll just kind of check and hope. Ooh, God, help the lag. We'll just check and hope that this doesn't break the entire thing, shall we? We all know it's gonna break horribly, isn't it? We'll see, we'll find out. Keep your fingers crossed for me. And we'll just take care of that while we're at it. Because honestly, I mean, we will be happy that we did it now. When we come back at some point, we have some high-speed trains and we modernize the railways, and then we see that. I mean, like, honestly, may as well go and change that right now. Did we just spend 2 million on reconfiguring that? Quite insane. Anyways, let's go and check out the lines. Yeah. The, at this point, I guess, non-existent lines? Wow, okay. That's not good. Not gonna lie, it was kind of what I was fearing may happen. But, evidently, it did end up happening. Oh, right, but it only reassigned things. So, red was the upper... This is not red, this is purple. Purple? No, wait, what? Maybe it was a very... I'm actually quite confused now. So this was a very magenta sort of red, and then... Okay. Cool! That's fixed. All the lines are connected through, apparently. Let's double check they're connected through right here. Looks quite fine to me, so hopefully no utter things broken. The warnings are gone, so we'll take that as a success for now and hope that it means that they're gone for good. Alright? Now, let us go and pull out a railway line then from Evesham to Space City. Just going to start out like this, and this part right here is actually going to be rather crucial. Now, I'm going to do a very, well, a rather at least steep curve out here, because, well, honestly, no matter how fast the train, I'm quite sure that at this point it will not be all the way up to 300 kilometers an hour already, so should be quite fine in my mind. And then we do need to pay attention to kind of just raise this up a bit, and we'll do a suspension bridge, because we all know that thing's beautiful. Eventually, you know, we'll have to upgrade these to better bridges so we can go above 180 kilometers an hour. But, I mean, look at that beauty. It's just great, is it? Now, yeah, I mean, we just kind of are trying to pay some attention in terms of height and all. We don't have anything too low going on where the ships would not be able to pass under, but I think that is quite fine to me. And then we do need to make sure the alignment is somewhat correct. Looking to sort of somewhat end up over there. So something a little like that makes sense in my mind. Let's go and pull that one out. And, ooh, we even get a second arc. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And yeah, then we kind of just, you know, level it out, I suppose. And kind of try and pull it out the right direction, basically. So somewhat a little like that. Second arc is still there. Let's go and build it like that, and then we'll go and pull it all the way to over here. Just like that. We do get another bridge here in the middle, it seems, due to all of the uneven terrain. Maybe we do make this one out of steel, just to, you know, not have it poke out too crazily over the landscape. I think, like, this cable bridge is absolutely beautiful, but it's more fitting, I would say, over water than over just like small bits of terrain like that. In that case, I think steel bridge just makes way more sense. So, that said then, let's go and build it like that. Just making sure here that the bridge is entirely out of steel and there was no like second section that I missed that's now made out of bricks and our train suddenly just goes 90 kilometers an hour. But it seems fine, and we're going to go connect that all the way through to the train station of Space City, and that is that done. Beautiful. Not quite straight, but, you know, works. Works just fine, I would say. And looks absolutely beautiful with that bridge. I'm really liking that one. The interesting part being this little concrete connection here in the middle. Very interesting indeed. But yeah, so that works. I hope the ships can all still pass under there. Did look quite fine in terms of the what it showed me. I mean, we can just double check the waterways here. Should be good, I hope. And, well, if not, you know, we can expand the river a bit. Just kind of a bit worried about, like, traffic jams here, because, I mean, this is a bit tight, maybe. But we'll see the behavior of that ship in just a second when we start time back up. That said, though, we do have that out of the way now. Now, we need to do the famous looparoo from the train station thingy, and just do like a little cut through there. Cool. And we will just like for a quick second put some signals there so you know the train can actually drive out while the train line or the other railway is occupied, and then that's that. Then let us go and actually set up a beautiful connection to Space City, and we will call it Passengers Evesham to Space City. Good stuff. All done, all beautiful, connection set up. Let us go and grab ourselves the train. Now the question is, what sort of train do we want to make it? This one right here, we did just make that little small train with a few train carts. I do have the somewhat strong feeling that we don't really need that much more for a connection, even to Space City. I think in terms of the train, it's overall quite fine. I mean, the incline is there, yes, but, you know, speed doesn't matter to us that much yet. Public transport is not going to get overloaded within seconds, at least I hope. I'm not jinxing myself there. I would probably go and add like a tad bit more, like a minute bit more, in the ways of capacity. Now, the thing that I'm actually wondering about, what kind of train cars did I put on that one? Oh, the six-wheeler. Okay. Not quite sure why I chose one over the other, to be honest. I don't really remember. Let's compare, maybe? I mean, this one has got like 3 more passengers, but... yeah... I mean, I suppose it doesn't really make that much of a difference, even in terms of like price per passenger increase for maintenance and all. But we'll just go with what we have on the other one, I suppose. No, we don't want to buy 3 trains. We want to actually add some train carts, so let's go do that. I guess we need a little more. Let me go and actually just monitor the behavior of the ship here for a second. Yeah, totally fine. I think we can be totally happy right there. But let's go and just quickly make sure to grab a tad bit of extra money for that train. I mean, that's going to be more than enough. We'll go and... I think we'll do a similar train to what we have going to whatever the other city was called. We'll maybe add like 1 extra train car. Should be fine, in my mind. 70 capacity going to Space City. I mean, Evesham is still quite small. You know, Space City itself, I wouldn't be too sure that capacity would be enough with that train size, but... or with the locomotive itself, but... combined like this, I think it's quite fine. We're still going mediocre, 50 in high, 90 in medium, 90 flat, so... overall, hopefully, quite good. And I mean, yeah, I know we've done high-speed train lines and all that good stuff, but we'll use it eventually if and when Evesham grows to the point that it actually makes sense. And for that purpose, you know, what we do have to do, aside from public transport soon, is certainly going to be actually sending some goods there. So definitely going to keep that on our list. That said, what I would like to do real quick is firstly enjoy that beautiful train honk, and then secondly, when we actually go on our first trip to Space City, I just want to quickly monitor, you know, that overall the speed is somewhat fine, you know. We'll have to see. I just kind of want to get a bit of an idea. I don't think it's too terrible, but, you know, it's always kind of a bit hard to gauge just how much of an incline there is. So, you know, if this thing's just going 50 kilometers an hour all the way, that would maybe be a bit of an issue, but as you can see, it's quite fine indeed. 66 kilometers an hour. While not great, it's also not terrible, and it's even increasing its speed. So I'm quite happy with that. We're also back to 20 mil, just like that. Jesus Christ. So I guess we can go and throw some more money at things. So what we'll do then, before we go to this whole new passenger thing down there, or think about, you know, I guess machines. It's kind of the most obvious next pick, given that we've got iron here and steel factory there, coal there, and wood right there. Which, well, I guess the wood we're using for something else, but, you know, given that we've got a lot of these things in close vicinity, would be the next obvious pick in order to grow Evesham. But what I do want to look at first with you all now is going to be managing our fleet. So let's just go and click ourselves through here a bit and find the bad or very bad condition things. Now, there's not going to be that much, because I think, you know, a lot of things we just newly kind of bought, especially given the rapid expansion rate we had going as of late. Look at this line of, wow, like, look at the amount of networks we've got going on the map already. Absolutely insane. I love to see that. We've been very busy indeed over the course of the series, I would say. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of these things are still quite new, and especially with rapid advancement, you know, it's not really like we leave time running for all too long, because if I do, I'm at like 2 billion or something at this point, so we won't do that, and that's why, you know, all things are quite good, well, in quite good of a condition, and only very few things are really in a bad condition. Most things, honestly, we've also been back to for quite a while now. Now, this right here would be a first little point to look at. The train for the bricks in Space City is in a bad condition. Production's at 370 out of 400. Shipment is at 272 out of 400 in the construction materials plant. Now, production 370 out of 400, though consumption of 370 is quite interesting, because that tells me we may not quite be at a 400 frequency right here, which, you know, given potentially the initial state of the quarry, and look at how fancy it has become with all the tools and everything. Do they actually work? Wait. Oh, look at that. They actually work. I love that. But yeah, I mean, given that this thing's grown quite a bit, I'm not quite sure we're up to snuff here. 374 of the rate, as you can see. So I guess what we could do... Yeah, but I don't want to just swap through all the gondolas and everything. I don't think that makes too much sense. Wasn't there some sort of maintenance? Yeah. No, I mean, that's like extra maintenance, though. Nope. So, I don't think we're gonna go swap through all the gondolas now. Like, I mean, if we did it for one, I would already know. I mean, no way in the world. So, what we are going to do, maybe, is swapping out the locomotive. That should go and take care of the speed for us, which is, I think, probably quite the important factor there. If you kind of remember, that thing is entirely high slopes, I think. So 34 kilometers an hour is quite slow. That should probably already bump up the frequency to 400, or the rate to 400 for us. And also get rid of a lot of the extra emissions and maintenance cost, due to this train already being in a lot worse condition than it originally was. Before we do that, though, Yeah, so this is all electrified, which is beautiful. Doesn't really need to be made high speed for the time being, I think. I mean, you know just how slow the freight trains go in this game, or in general, in real life as well. Well, especially given that we're in 1947, that will not change for quite a while. So let us go and just edit the train like that and see what happens to the frequency. So we've got an A35 here, do we? It's not the worst locomotive in the world either. We could just go to a crocodile for... I mean, that's quite a significant increase right there already. I mean, we do also have the AE47 as an alternative, but we're not that far off the rate. So I think, especially given that we would have 40% more maintenance costs again, let us go for the... Oops. Let us go for the crocodile. And if that does not quite match our needs, we can always just go back and add like one more gondola or something. Let's do it like that. So there goes a crocodile. Beautiful. And same rate. That cannot be true. How did the rate not change by a single stat? High 53. I mean, the thing is evidently a lot faster. Doesn't really feel like it makes that much sense to me. I mean, you can see that this entire thing is high slope, so... Why is it slowing down? The curves aren't too tight, are they? Why is this thing only going 37? Oi! Your slow speed was sold to me as 53. Why are you going this slow? I'm so confused. Did something change here? Nope. I don't know. We're just gonna go add on some gondolas, I guess. Still a bit weird. But hey. I guess we do that, and then we go to a rate of 402. So that should be nice and beautiful. Not going to be able to change the status further, but I just don't want to swap through the entire gondolas for no reason. That's going to be a very, very expensive endeavor, and I think not really worth it, especially given that at some point you've got to keep in mind there will be new gondolas, definitely, that can go faster, and we may as well just do the swap at that point, I guess. Carrying on, we've got crude oil Evesham, which is, whoa. This one right here. Okay. So, let's go and check that one out. We do have the oil well right here. We've got 100% shipment rate. And, well, I mean, this thing, jeez. But it doesn't really, I kind of want to say it doesn't really matter in this case. Then it kind of really does matter somewhat. Are these already the new oil carts, or are all these the older ones still? These are the new tank cars as well. It's a tough one. It's quite the increase in terms of maintenance cost, and I don't think it's worth it in this case. We'll leave it as is. I think we can just leave it, especially, you've got to consider it's like in the middle of nowhere, that the emissions are not going to affect any sort of city. In fact, is there some sort of emissions map here? Yup. So, you can see that, I mean, this train goes up until here, so it doesn't really affect much of anything. And, actually quite interesting to see that one. I wonder just how different, like, electric trains are to locomotives and how much that can be made out. No clue. Anyways, we'll take care of that a different day. Don't need to be too drawn to the side there by that one. Let's go and continue through here. We've got Food Darley-Dale, and Jesus Christ, that old thing. And this thing actually goes right into Darley-Dale, so maybe something to take care of here. Food Darley-Dale is at a rate of... where are we at? Food, Darley Dale. Is at a rate of 151. We've got a requirement in Darley Dale of 159. Which isn't too crazy different. But I think what we can do here is we will just replace this thing with the cheapest alternative that we currently have, which will be that one. I mean, it's still going to be a good bit more expensive, but hey. And we'll just do like a few of the newer boxcars instead of the old ones, and gonna be happy with life ever after. So we've got 40 of the capacity, max speed of 50, which should pretty much be hits because there's no slopes. So let me go, add this thing, and add the new boxcars. Up until capacity of 48. And we'll do things like that, and that'll definitely cover our needs for quite a while longer too. Especially since we won't be able to pump much more out of this food processing plant anyways, and then we can work with that quite fine for me. That said, there's still a good bunch, honestly, of things remaining here to modernize, so I think in the next episode we'll continue going through here. We are... well, not even halfway. No, we're about halfway, I would say. A lot of these are just, like, train depots and stuff. So, we'll go through and finish this job off. Finish just picking out the things that need to be modernized. And then we'll go and head on and actually finally get this passengers line set up as well between Space City, the Aquarium, and Crawley. Especially also deciding if we do need a new train station here now or not. So, that all will be coming up in the next episode then. For today, though, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.